Hello and welcome to my channel GreenLion Goddess Tarot. This is your daily reading for March the 24th, 2021. Now I have to say this is actually my third attempt at this reading because the computer kept sliding. And so it's kind of interesting because yesterday was about delays, postponement, things slowing down, and there was also celebration in there as well. And I'm like, this is kind of playing out even in this reading of things taking longer or things, plans going slightly skewy or having to do things more than once, which is kind of interesting. But there's this general feeling of like things being delayed. But yesterday it was kind of interesting because we had, and I'll see what comes out today. It might be different, totally different energy. But yesterday I was reflecting on the reading because I'm like, it was such a strange reading. There was celebration, but then there was delays and things slowing down. And I'm like, how do those two things marry together? And I kind of got that for some people, it might not be both at once. Some people might get one or the other, or just the negative thing of delays and slowing down. For my son, it's been a lot of rain has been hitting the east coast of Australia at this moment, a big chunk of it. And we're flooded in where we are. It looks like we're living on an island. We're safe here because we're up on a hill, but the road to his school was flooded, so he couldn't go to school. And he was like, this is the best day of my life as a kid. And so it's celebration with a delay. And so, I was thinking, that actually is what played out. And then I was watching a sporting event that I like to watch over in Europe, and that got delayed because of the wind. And then the person I wanted to win won, but then the other person didn't win. And so it was like that person had disappointment and the delay, but one person had celebration and delay. And I'm like, how did that's kind of interesting how that played out. So I'd be curious to know how that played out in your life if you want to leave a comment. I don't want to make light of the floods at all here because as adults, we understand the more serious side of it, and for some people there are some really serious consequences. So I hope that if you're in Australia and you're being affected by all this rain on the East Coast, that you are safe. So after that ramble, I'm going to start and see what's coming in today. But it's just sometimes funny how you can get those kind of polar opposite energies and how they can marry up. It's kind of interesting. Comparison. It's exactly what I'm doing. So we've got control. I'll just show you the cards that have come out. Control and playfulness. And these are kind of polar opposite energies as well, which is why it's interesting. We've got comparison coming in. So I feel like it's going to be, interesting. So let's see what the other two cards are. But it does feel like for whatever reason there are opposite energies or opposing energies doing a little merry dance and at this moment in time. I'll pull another two cards for this. Schizophrenia. It sounds intense, but sometimes the meanings of these cards are slightly different to what they sound. And then we've got the possibilities again. So we had that yesterday as well. So it was like, that's right, we had possibilities and celebration. So this card is kind of, there's a new dawn. There's all these possibilities opening up, but then there's this sense of sometimes there's a sense that your mind might be going into some kind of spirit might be going, yes, let's dance with this, let's move forward, let's be happy. And your mind might be having a totally different version of events, a totally different story going on. Like, I need to control what's happening here. I don't understand what this is. What's this bigger thing that's in control here? It can be like trying to bridge the gap between one understanding and another, one person and another. It's a sense that there is this, it might feel like a huge thing with all these possibilities and something opening up. It might actually feel like just a huge overwhelming thing in front of you that could be happening. So it's kind of interesting that we have the comparison because I love this card. I mean, we have the flexibility of the bamboo and then we have the inflexibility of the wood right next to it. And it's kind of saying, which way do you want to go? Because there's two different two different options, two different paths that are opened up here. And one is calling for flexibility, and one is more like, I don't want to change, I don't want to step into that. So it's this is right at the center. And at the moment, I feel like it is just, it's kind of like mind versus spirit. And it seems like a fairly equal battle at this moment in time if we're kind of looking at the balance of it. And really, I just feel like it's this sense that there is this bigger thing beckoning and calling, and these possibilities are just starting to open. We can see there's a new dawn. There's this new energy coming in. It's very much connected to the fire energy, the Aries energy that's coming in, this new seed that's been planted. And there just might be a little bit of resistance to that for whatever reason today. Now, this could play out also in terms of dealing with people and situations, that it might be that you might be dealing with a person that's very like, this is my way and this is how we're doing it and I don't want to do it this a different way. You might be dealing with someone like that, or this might be you as well, going, I don't really want to be flexible with that. This is how it should be. There is kind of this thing that there is, it's this call, this sense of something needs a bit of flexibility, and it's kind of going to be interesting to see how people respond to that, because some people can get very like, no, I'm not doing that. They can just dig their heels in, like I said. So, and some people can actually get angry. They can get cranky. Some people can go, okay, and there's a sense of understanding of maybe I need to kind of loosen up a little bit about something and try a new path. So everyone's going to be, depending on who you are and all your placements, you're going to be seeing people responding differently, and even yourself responding differently to this. And yeah, it's kind of an interesting energy. We do have this playfulness as well. So it might actually be also that with this right next to the control, I'm getting that if you're kind of feeling like you're working hard at something or being very disciplined, and you're seeing someone over there just kind of faffing around, being faffy lula over there, it might be like, that is really annoying me, that energy. We should be focusing and doing this. But this person over here is just like having, in they're light and free and doing their thing. And they're like, I don't want to be pulled down by this heaviness of responsibility and having to, do something and complete something. So this might also be a resistance to actually just it's serious versus fun as well. And it's interesting to see how those polarities will kind of play out with you, because it might be today, I don't feel like being that serious at work. I just can't do it. Or it might be, that you like saying to someone, you're not being serious about this. So, and it might feel like, yes, that gap between the two energies just might seem like huge. But at the same time, there's this sense that I feel like it's like, because of this energy, this powerful, potent energy, people are going to be responding to that differently, and some people could be a bit agitated. So it could be one of those days where you're kind of dancing around other people's moods a little bit. It could be one of those days, but you could be like this. You could be this playfulness and totally oblivious to all of this and go, I'm not engaging with that at all. So I'm not getting that one is better than the other. I am getting that it's just both of them are very normal reactions, and just to kind of observe, it's kind of a mindfulness space of observing how one person one energy might be very fixed and one energy might be very flowing. And so this could come in terms of, like a fixed sign with a mutable energy or a cardinal energy. It could be, you're dealing with an Aries and a Scorpio comes in, and the Aries and Scorpio have a bit of a clash that day because it's fixed and cardinal, or, that sort of thing. So it might just be interesting to observe how this plays out today. I think ultimately it's just a reaction to opening up to this bigger thing. So just to be aware of that. So that is the energy for today. There's definitely two sides to every story, and to try and find the middle ground is probably really the kind of message of the day, I would say. So thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.